Series returns to the Tour Speedway in France, 30th of June, 1st of July. As it's the only oval circuit on the 2018 calendar, it will provide something very different for the race fans as drivers fight it out for the World Oval Challenge. There's contact, he's spun him round. Welcome along to Tour Speedway, set in the Parc d'Expédition in the east of the city for round 8 of the 2018 NASCAR Whelen Euro Series. Beautiful clear skies, wonderful conditions, and the only oval circuit we've got on the 2018 calendar. The format this weekend, well, the two divisions as always. Elite 1 for the pro drivers, Fred Gabion's the championship leader, and Elite 2 for the young and the amateur drivers, where Wilfried Brusena leads the championship jointly with Guillaume Dumouriez coming into this weekend. It's the World Oval Challenge, and there's €5,000 for the winner of the final for Elite 1 and €2,500 for the winner of Elite 2. The track length, 650 metres. In the semi-finals, we see 35 laps of green flag racing with the top 10 cars going through to fight it out in the final for the money and the main championship points. Ulysse Delceau won the Elite 2 final yesterday, his second ever win in the NASCAR Whelen Euro Series. He claimed €2,500 as a result, and of course that win came at his home NASCAR Grand Prix. Well, it's the 6th time that the NASCAR Whelen Euro Series has visited Tour Speedway. This 650-metre circuit with just 4 turns and 9-degree banking has provided some great action over the course of the weekend, and there's plenty going on off-circuit as well, with driver autograph sessions, and, well, the paddock area is undercover as well, so all of the spectators can get very close to the cars, the teams, and the drivers in the 2018 NASCAR Whelen Euro Series. So the first semi-final of the weekend, damp conditions. We've had rain over the course of this morning, and therefore it's going to be a single file start for this one. Ulysse Delceau at the front of the grid, Pedro Bonet behind him with Gilles Linster there in 3rd place, and the green flag waves, we go green, and Ulysse Delceau, yesterday's race winner in the final, but also having won his semi-final, leads the race from Pedro Bonet in 2nd place. Gilles Linster in the yellow car with the blue roof is there in 3rd place. Justin Kuntz in 4th, but he's got the Memphis Racing Chevrolet, number 77 of Guillaume de Flandre, right behind him. They head out of turn number 2, down the straightaway up towards turn number 3 and turn number 4, but Ulysse Delceau is just getting away a little bit here as Guillaume de Flandre looks for the inside line, heading up towards turn number 1. Justin Kuntz is on the high side a little bit. De Flandre pokes his nose up the inside, goes alongside the Racing Total number 46 Ford Mustang, and is able to squeeze his way through. Justin Kuntz hanging on to it on the high side, but needs to close the door to prevent the Toyota of Kenko Miura working his way through. Great racing, Miura is through. Now can Tom Bonen squeeze through as well? Yes is the answer, so Justin Kuntz just offline there, small mistake, and it's cost him half a dozen places at least. All of the time, Ulysse Delceau pulling away in the lead of the race, but look at this fight we have for 2nd, 3rd and 4th places. Nicholas Risitano gains a position. Bit of damage to the number 8 Racers Motorsport car, but in the hands of the Italian, Nicholas Risitano is looking very racy. He's hounding Pedro Bonet for what will be 2nd place. The checkered flag comes out. Ulysse Delceau takes the win. Who's going to finish 2nd? Pedro Bonet is under huge pressure from Nicholas Risitano. Kenko Miura is in the mix as well, just that little bit further behind, but Pedro Bonet nice and neat and tidy through 3 and 4, takes the checkered flag in 2nd place, but what a race it was. Ulysse Delceau claims the win in the semi-final from in 2nd place Pedro Bonet, and it will be Nicholas Risitano who finished in a charging 3rd place. So on to the 2nd semi-final then for Elite 2. The top 10 cars once more will go through to the final. Adrien Pavio at the front of the grid. Again, it's a single file start, such are the conditions here after the overnight rain, and Adrien Pavio is going to lead the charge with Felipe Rebello there in 2nd position and Florian Venturi in 3rd place. 4th place at the moment is Wilfried Brusena at the leading Knauf car. He's got Paul Guillaume right behind him as well, but it's a safe and tidy first turn. Everybody on slick tyres, other than one car that has opted still for wets in these damp conditions, which is Ariana Casoli. Now that could pay dividends because it means that her tyres will have a bit more life in them come the final later on. Great fight that's going on further down through the order, as by the look of things, Dietrich Sayerson squeezes his way through and up the inside of Stephen Young. So through goes Dietrich Sayerson, gaining the place at the wheel of the Hendricks Motorsport number 50 car. Sideways out of 4 comes Adrian Pavio, under pressure from the cars that sit behind, who are now side by side by the look of things. Felipe Rebello losing a place as Florian Venturi squeezes his way through and past, just as they put a lap on Ariana Casole in the process as well. This is a great fight that's going on between the cars, and now Florian Venturi looking to try and nip underneath on the run in towards turn number 1 and 2, but Adrian Pavio is having none of that. The Tour resident under pressure as Florian Venturi has the inside line. Nothing that Adrian Pavio could really do about that, so the place change has occurred. Florian Venturi now ahead. Adrian Pavio losing 1 place and coming under pressure a little bit from the PK car sport machine in the hands of the Brazilian driver Felipe Rebello. But the checkered flag is going to fly, and Florian Venturi is going to claim the win in the semi-final. Adrian Pavio comes through in 2nd place and Felipe Rebello in 3rd. And of course the top 10 cars from this semi-final will join the top 10 from semi-final 1 and fight it out for €2,500 prize in Elite 2. On to the final for Elite 2, and it will see Ulisses Delso, yesterday's final winner, line up on pole position for this 50-lap race, and alongside him will be the number 32 Go Fast racing machine in the hands of Florian Venturi, an all-French front row of the grid for the final. Row 2 of the grid will be Petro Bonnet at the wheel of his number 90 Brax Racing Ford Mustang, and well, for company on the outside of that row of the grid will be French journalist and Tour resident Adrian Pavio, who has been really impressive this weekend racing in his home city. So here we go then, Ulisses Delso on pole position. Florian Venturi alongside him, bumper to bumper was the call. Well, Pedro Bonet is certainly doing that with Ulisses Delso. Buckle up, we go green here in Tour as Ulisses Delso leads the charge up towards turn number 1. Florian Venturi cannot get down to the low side, so Pedro Bonet is going to squeeze his way through, is he, into 2nd place. And now Florian Venturi needs to get back down from the high side to the low side. He's done so to prevent the red number 8 car of Nicholas Risitano working his way through. Venturi sideways coming off 3 and up towards 4. Risitano thought the door was open, but again, the Frenchman just got over to close the gap again. They're out of 2 and already sprinting their way down towards turn number 3. Ulisses Delso with, 3 or 4 car lengths between himself and Pedro Bonnet, but such has been the frantic racing this weekend, I would very much doubt that we remain green for the scheduled 50 laps. Any laps under caution will get added to the total. It needs to be 50 green flag laps, and we are already under caution. And the reason is, into the wall has gone Pierluigi Veronese, so the number 27 car out. We get the full course caution done and dusted, which means away we go, and we race once more as Ulisses Delso tries to get the break. Some cars have opted to go right of the cone under the cone rule and take the high side, and one of those that's gained massively is now under huge pressure. Contact by the look of things, and that is Wilfried Busenna, who had contact made between himself and Pedro Bonnet. The 2 cars got together. Busenna sheds the rear bumper. Bonnet with a little bit of damage to the front end of his Brax racing machine, as Wilfried Busenna now is washed out a little bit through turn 1 and turn 2, and he's had his pocket picked. There's the damage to the Brax Racing Ford Mustang. They both got away with it, but now Florian Venturi is up into what will be 3rd position by the look of things. Nicholas Risitano is there in 4th place, up towards turn 1 and turn 2, and Florian Venturi tries a move which doesn't work out. Pedro Bonnet ends up in the wall. Florian Venturi with lots of damage to the front end of the Go Fast machine, and that is going to mean we go caution. So caution done and dealt with. Ulisses Delso now has Wilfried Busenna alongside him for the restart. Busenna on the high line heading in towards turn 1 and turn 2. So Nicholas Risitano is able to squeeze his way through at the wheel of the Racers Motorsport car. And Guillaume de Flandre for Memphis Racing, the number 77 car, also gains the place at the wheel of his Chevy. And now it looks as though the 2 Knauf cars are side by side for what will be 4th and 5th place. Paul Guillaume on the low line with Wilfried Busenna on the high line, and Busenna can't turn in again, and another car gains a place. That is Felipe Rebello for PK Car Sport that goes through. So as soon as you're hung out to dry a little bit, there's just one groove here. We've heard from so many drivers, there's just one groove that's working at the moment. They think it will rubber up as the weekend goes on. Side by side, Gilles Linster and Adrien Pavio, but Gilles Linster's on the high side, which means that Dietrich Sayerson is able to squeeze his way through at the wheel of the number 50 Hendricks Motorsport car. So the Luxembourg driver losing a place, whilst Ulisses Delso continues on his merry way and is looking good here for 2 victories out of 2 potentially in the Elite 2 final. Lock breaks up at turn number 1, and the reason is Tom Bonan, who I think just avoided the wall there. Maybe he did make contact. And in fact, he did. We've gone caution, and we're about to get the race back underway once more. Ulysse Delso leading the race. Felipe Rebello this time tries the outside line at turn number 1, but that's not going to work. Nicholas Risitano is going to be able to squeeze his way through. There's contact further back. Tom Bonham was involved. Other cars taking to the inside line to avoid the contact, and as a result, more safety cars. And this time, a single file restart has been ordered by the race director. And Ulysse Delso gets the jump over Nicholas Risitano and what will be Guillaume de Flandre, who sits there in 3rd place, but under pressure from Paul Guillaume, who's there in 4th position. The laps are ticking up all of the time, and Ulysse Delso is now just 1 lap away. The white flag means he's got 650 metres to go between himself and a double victory here. What a fight, though, for 2nd and 3rd place. Nicholas Risitano still having to stick his elbows out to hang on to it under enormous pressure, but Ulysse Delso is safely round through turn number 3 and turn number 4, and that's another €2,500 check heading away of the Frenchman, and a double win for him at his home NASCAR Grand Prix. It is Ulysse Delso that claims the win. Nicholas Risitano comes through and finishes in 2nd place ahead of Guillaume de Flandre in 3rd. Paul Guillaume, Pierre Francisco Parli and Jerry De Vert complete the top 6 in what was a frantic final race for the Elite 2 drivers here in France. And what a weekend it's been for the number 3 Toyota Camry from RDV competition. A win for Fred Gabion, who congratulates Ulysse Delso, who's now won 2 races in that very same car. The car is yet to be beaten this weekend as the celebrations go on the podium. In the Rookie Cup, Nicholas Risitano was the first of the drivers home. 2nd was Francisco Parli, and completing the podium was Adrien Pavio. In the Lady Cup, Carmen Boit-Gilles once more claimed top honours over her main rival, Ariana Casoli. And in the Legend Trophy, it was another win for Francesco Parli. In 2nd was Jerry De Vert, and completing the Legend podium was Stephen Young. It really has been a fantastic weekend in France, and our return to Tour, it was absent from the calendar in 2017, but it's been a great return in 2018, and people have travelled across the Atlantic to be here.
This is actually my first opportunity to be in Europe for NASCAR racing. I can tell you that the French fans are absolutely wonderful. The atmosphere is electric. Just the way this is really run in terms of all of the festivities, the racing itself, the fan excitement, the drivers' excitement about running on an oval is absolutely wonderful for me to see for the very first time. Very similar to what we see in the United States, but very excited to be here in France and looking forward to the continuation of today. The development of NASCAR, the Wayland Series here in Europe, I think is a continuation. It's an extension of what we're seeing in the States. We're finding fans all over the world that do enjoy this type of racing, and it's exciting. It's really exciting. I'm very happy and proud to see the development progressing in Europe, and I hope that it continues that way.
So time for Elite 1 semi-final one of the day. Fred Gabion was the man to beat yesterday, claimed the win in his semi-final and the final as well, and took 40 championship points and a €5,000 check as a result. Now the top 10 in this semi-final will go through to the final to meet the top 10 from semi-final 2 and fight it out again for top slot and the prize fund. Fred Gabion will start on pole position in this one. The Toyota Camry has been the car to beat this weekend from RDV competition, but Stinis Longines on the outside of the front row might have a thing or two to think about. The number 11 car, though, is on the outside line heading round through 1 and 2 as Bobby Labonte tries to tuck his number 18 Toyota up the inside. A little bit of contact there. Stinis Longines hangs on to 2nd. Bobby Labonte slots his way through into 3rd place. It's going to be Loris Hazemans who's there in 4th place, and Lucas Lasserre in 5th by the look of things. We are missing a few cars off the grid, such has been the rate of attrition this weekend as Bobby Labonte, the 2000 NASCAR champion, looks to try and squeeze his way up the inside of the former Elite 2 champion. A contact between the pair of them. Stinis Longines just runs a little bit wide through 3 and 4, which allows Loris Hazemans up the inside, and Bobby Labonte spins coming out of turn 4. The 2000 Monster Energy NASCAR champion spins to the inside line and he's going to drop down towards the tail end of the field, but under the cone rule for the restart has opted for the outside line to try and brave it out. Very quickly we go back towards green flag racing. Bobby Labonte a little bit wider through 1. Stinis Longines nips up the inside. Loris Hazemans might try and follow him through as well at the wheel of the number 50 Hendrick's car. Now this is a fantastic semi-final. The drivers will still be focused though. They need to finish because they need to make sure that they are in a fit state to be in the final. We've seen a few damaged cars this weekend. We've seen some great racing. And Bobby Labonte at the moment is on the high line, working it well though at this stage. Clinging onto the outside line through 3 and 4. Loris Hazeman's giving him enough room. Lucas Lasser at the wheel of the light blue car, not too far behind, but Hazeman is there in 3rd place. Lucas Lasser is going to go through into 4th, and Bobby Labonte now tucks himself back down again, right the way down to the yellow line as they head round through turn number 4 and looks to try and see what he might be able to do. He re-attacks and is going to go back up the inside of the Frenchman. Fantastic stuff from Bobby Labonte. Through he goes, retakes the place, and well, he is now looking as though he might be able to do something about closing on the cars ahead. But Fred Gabillon is on for surely another win in the semi-final. White flag is waved, and Fred Gabillon is going to go through it over the start-finish line. 650 metres to go. He's got the gap. Surely he's going to win, but who's going to finish 2nd, 3rd and 4th is very much up for dispute as they turn their way out of 2 down towards 3 for the final time. Fred Gabillon is going to take the win in the first of the semi-finals in Elite 1 here today. Second is going to be Stinis Longin. It's going to be Loris Hazemans in 3rd place, and will the hard-charging Bobby Labonte will finish in 4th place. What a race, what a semi-final. Pure racing here in Tours. So on to the second and the last semi-final of the weekend before we head towards the final for Elite 1. Alan Day on pole position, Alexander Graf, the Swede, alongside. Buckle up, here we go. We go green once more. Good start from Alan Day, who has never won on an oval race course and is looking to try and see what he might be able to do. He needs to get through the semi-final well to then try and see whether he can squeeze an overall victory out of the final. He leads the race. Alexander Graf in 2nd place, as trying to get up the inside goes Alex Sedgwick, but the door is closed. Now Sedgwick has got to his right-hand side. Gianmarco Ercoli, who's trying to go around the outside at turn number 1 and turn number 2. We did think the outside groove would rubber up as the weekend went on, and that would appear now to be the case. More and more drivers are starting to get that outside groove working. Alex Sedgwick still the meat in the sandwich. He has got ahead of him Alexander Graf. He's got right behind him Gianmarco Ercoli. Tomo Ferrando is not too far away as well, as now Alex Sedgwick looks to try and work his magic. The door is closed. Alexander Graf is having none of it. It looks like Gianmarco Ercoli is under pressure as well from the number 73 car. That will be in the hands of Wilfred Bussenna in this race, and Bussenna looking for the inside line. The 2009 champion cannot get through and ahead of Gianmarco Ercoli, who himself, of course, let's not forget, is a former Elite 2 champion. Gianmarco having secured that championship back in 2015. Alan Day receives the white flag. He is 1 lap away from winning his first race on an oval. Come the statistics, it won't count because it's just a semi-final. It's the main race that he wants to win. That has the championship points and it has the prize money, €5,000 attached to it. The Israeli leads the race, heading through 3 and 4 for the final time to take the checkered flag. And on our last semi-final of the weekend, Alan Day claims the win. Alexander Graf comes through in 2nd place, and it's another Alex Sedgwick completes the top 3. That's the last of the semi-finals. So on to our final race of the weekend, and it will be the Cal Racing Toyota of the reigning Elite 1 champion Alan Day that will sit on pole position. And well, the man with 5 wins under his belt at Tours already won this weekend in the final and €5,000 richer. Championship leader Fred Gabillon. Row 2 of the grid will be number 11, Stinis Longin, the Elite 2 champion from 2016. And alongside him, rookie in the championship for this year, Alex Sedgwick, going very well at the wheel of the Brax machine. So, neat 2x2 order, 50 green flag laps of racing, all 30 minutes, whichever comes first. And here we go for the start of the final race of the weekend. Buckle up, we go green for the last time. A good start, actually, from Fred Gabillon from the outside line, which is slowly rubbering up this weekend, so he clings on to it. He's side-by-side with Alan Day as they head off 2 and down towards the straightaway and up towards turn number 3. And he's still side-by-side through 3 and through 4. Stinis Longin, though, on the low side is just starting to move up a little bit of the wheel of the PK Carsport car. So Fred Gabillon covers off that move this time as they head round through 1 and 2 once more. So Alan Day leads the race. Fred Gabillon is 2nd. Stinis Longin is there in 3rd place. It's Loris Hazemans in 4th. Bobby Labonte going well in 5th place. Now remember, Bobby Labonte retired from one of the races yesterday, and therefore his tyres haven't done as many laps in warm conditions. That could be one to watch out for as this race wears on. Side-by-side further down through the order, Kenko Miura going side-by-side with Tomo Ferrando, who's now got Roman Iniesta at the wheel of the number 32 Go Fast car, looking to try and see whether he can get the low side to work for him. But Tomo Ferrando, again, just hanging on to it round the outside. It is certainly improving. Looks as though there was just one groove earlier on. Now there's almost 2. albeit this is the final race of the weekend. So Roman Iniesta does just hang on to that position, and Tomo Ferrando loses the place. But look at the queue of cars. Kenko Miura, then Roman Iniesta, then Tomo Ferrando, then Mauro Triodi, and then there's another car off the tail end of that as well. And that is going to be, by the look of things, Wilfried Busenna at the wheel of the number 73 Knauf car. So great fighting going on, and now it looks as though Kenko Miura has lost a place there. Through has gone the number 32 Go Fast Racing Ford Mustang of Roman Iniesta. So place gain there. The Japanese driver loses a place. Look at Stinis Longines as well. He's under huge pressure as Loris Huysmans gets alongside, gets to the low side, and now that Stinis Longines has been pushed to the outside, Bobby Labonte surely is going to follow his way through. Yeah, right the way down towards the white line, and he's going to gain the place. Stinis Longines trying to hang on though as they head out of 3 and down towards 4, but Bobby Labonte is through, and Stinis Longines covers off any move at all from Lucas Lasserre, the number 33 car that was looking to try and gain a place. We go caution, and the reason being that we've lost Alexander Graf, who has spun the car but has avoided the wall by the look of things. We're about to go green once more, on board with Bobby Labonte. Fantastic view of the 650-metre four-turn course. He's side by side. To his right-hand side is Gianmarco Ercoli. Directly ahead of him is Fred Gabillon. And there is the number 32 Go Fast Racing car of Roman Iniesta, who is a little bit offline. Bobby Labonte looking to try and squeeze his way through, and ahead they run side by side down the straightaway. And he's got the inside line as they head up towards turn number 1. He's on the low groove, so through he goes up into 3rd place. Roman Iniesta is down into 4th place. Bobby Labonte getting stronger and stronger as the race is wearing on. Now, some of that could well be his oval racing experience relative to some of the other drivers in the NASCAR Whelen Euro Series. Some of it could be to do with the fact that he didn't do as many laps on his tyres yesterday, and in warm conditions, that may well be a real advantage towards the tail end of this one. Out of 4 and up towards 5, looking to try and get up the inside of Fred Gabillon. There's enough of a gap, and it does look as though the 2000 Monster Energy NASCAR champions running side by side with the current championship leader in the NASCAR Whelen Euro Series. Through he goes. He's able to take the place. Up to 2nd goes Bobby Labonte. Fred Gabillon instantly back down to the low side to cover off anything at all that Roman Iniesta might be able to throw at him. So he hangs on to 3rd place, having just lost 1 position to Bobby Labonte. Make sure he doesn't drop off the podium places, as he's still got Roman Iniesta right behind him. We go caution again once more, briefly as a result of a spin for Tomo Ferrando. We get the race back underway, and Fred Gabillon has opted for the high line this time under the cone rule that we heard about earlier on. Now, can he get that groove to work for him? Not at the moment, because Bobby Labonte is hanging onto the rear bumper of Alan Day. He's being pushed along also by Roman Iniesta, who seems to be able to get himself up the inside of Fred Gabillon, and it's not going to work for Fred. He's down into 4th place. He's now got Alex Sedgwick attacking him as well, and Alex Sedgwick is going to go through, and Fred Gabillon is still on the high side. Loris Huysmans goes through as well. Fred Gabillon is just getting hung out to dry here as all of the cars on the low side are able to work their way through and ahead. Loris Huysmans is through. Alexander Graf is going to go through as well. White flag waves. Alan Day is 1 lap away from his first oval win. Bobby Labonte is on for his first NASCAR Whelen Euro Series podium, but could he steal the race win? They are absolutely together as they head round through 3 and through 4. There's a little bit of contact as Bobby Labonte just pushes the rear bumper of Alan Day, but Alan Day comes through to claim the win, to claim his first oval win, his 14th win in the NASCAR Whelen Euro Series, and claim a €5,000 prize. And Bobby Labonte, I think, will have enjoyed that one. They're side by side. Bobby Labonte finishing in 2nd position, and it will be Roman Iniesta that completes the overall podium.
I wasn't the fastest also today, but with the team, great teamwork, that's all I can say. We knew that if I will get a quicker time than Gabillon on the semi-final, we will be on pole, and that's what happened. And since then, I just defend like hell from those 2 RDV competition team, but car racing team did amazing job with a 54 car. And yeah, what can I say? I beat NASCAR Cup champion, you know, that's something incredible. He was there for the last few laps, and he started bumping me, and I was like, maybe I'm not gonna do it, but I fight until my last breath, and I'm so happy. I'm exhausted. It's so hot. People probably cannot understand how hot it is in the car, and oh God.
A big smile on Alan Day's face as he stands on the top step of the podium, and rightly so. He had to work for that win, his 14th win and his first on the oval. So it's time for the champagne to fly on the NASCAR Whelen Euro Series podium. In the junior trophy, it was another win for the Ford Mustang of Loris Huysmans from Alex Sedgwick, who was in 2nd position, and it was Gianmarco Ercoli that finished in 3rd. The Challenger Trophy, first win for Mauro Trioni after 23 years away from racing. Kenko Miura was second. Dario Carzo finished third. That's all from the NASCAR Whelen Euro Series World Oval Challenge at Tour. Join us next time when we're in Hockenheim in Germany.